Peter, I want to go back to something you said at the beginning because I think the normal reaction for the ardent football fan to what you said may have caused them either to spit their coffee onto their TV or tablet or phone screen, drop their spoon full of milk and post toasties, and possibly fall out of their chair because there was a nonchalance to how you said that you believe at some point there will be no draft. And as someone who has advocated vociferously against a draft, I have accepted the fact that with each passing year, when you get the sweeping jib shot of the crowd assembled in whichever city the draft goes to next, it's too big to die. It's never going away. And I've resigned myself to the fact that even though it would be better and more appropriate and more fair for the kids to pick where they want to go, it's never going to change. The draft is way too massive at this point. So I hate to disagree. I wish and hope that you're right. I'm just stunned that somebody who's as plugged into the overall NFL mainstream vibe believes there's a chance this could go away. What has caused you to believe that it could happen? Because you've given me a little glimmer of hope that maybe it will.
Well, Mike, you say, well, how can they kill the draft? Look at 600,000 people in downtown Nashville, which didn't even have a team, a generation before that happened. So of course, everybody is going to look at that and say, we love it. The fact is, Mike, the NFL has invented events over the years that have become gigantic. And the scouting combine, Mike, in the year 2000, I covered the scouting combine in Indianapolis. And I believe that there were about 20 reporters there. I wouldn't be off. There might have been 15. There might have been 27. There weren't many. And now, I think the last year I covered it, there were 1,243 credentials issued to cover the scouting combine. Whatever the NFL wants to do, it can do. And if some judge one day says the draft is unconstitutional or whatever, if somebody abolished the draft and it goes through the courts and it does this, and if in 2054 there's no draft, let's just say, the NFL at that time with Commissioner Arch Manning will basically say at that time, oh, okay, there's no draft. Okay, what event can we figure out? Let's have a college prospect picking contest to see where they're going to go and who are they going to play for. You see free agency. Mike, in 1975, when you were a kid watching football, you probably never thought in football that players would willy-nilly be changing teams. Well, why can't the best players, when they come out of college, why can't there be an event that will all sort of celebrate as the time that college players go and choose their team, a weekend in early May or whatever it is? I don't know. All I'm saying is that the NFL has proven that if the legal system intercedes, and who knows whether it will or won't, they'll figure out a way to capitalize on it.
Case in point, the draft has become what it now is because Radio City Music Hall had some sort of Easter spectacular that conflicted with the NFL's preferred date for the 2015 draft. So the NFL said, fine, we'll take it to Chicago. And the rest is history. 10 years later, look at what it is. Now, when you say those things, you're preaching to the choir. The choir consists of one for the most part because fans lose their minds when the possibility of the draft going away comes up. But I agree with you. If there is some development that forces the draft to go away, the NFL will backfill with something that generates viewership of 13 million or thereabouts for the 3-hour window that we go from player to player to player, and they have a collection of hats in front of them, and they pick one up and they put it on, and that's when the world finds out where that player is going to be playing in the National Football League. And there are cap ramifications. There are competitive balance ramifications. People ask me about it all the time, and I promise one of these days I'll lay out my plan for what would take place in place of the draft. But there's a way to do it. And, there's a faulty premise, Peter, that allowing the worst teams to pick first somehow makes the bad teams good and makes everything equal. Because we know it doesn't happen. The bad teams, even with the benefit of dibs on the best incoming players, bad teams stay bad. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.